And here we go, everybody. Welcome back. We are here again at the Wheels and Shaky podcast.
Hello, hello.
It is February 23rd today, Monday, February 23rd,
Mm.
and 2026. So here we are back again, and this is episode 18, season two, right? We're calling this season two, episode 18, and we are calling it You Can Say That Again. Hey, you can say that again.
You can say that
Um,
again.
you can say
Sometimes.
you can
Sometimes
say
I
that
can't say it the first
again.
time.
Yeah, sometimes you can't say me neither. Me
But
either.
but this goes back to the cold thing. The one of the big things I've had issues with is this crazy cold weather is
Hmm.
affecting something I took forever to learn how to say. Do you
Which
remember me
is
struggling with their spasticity
oh yeah, yep.
and all the meds
Spasticity.
that I take because I don't
Spasticity.
take a lot of my meds to cure or you take meds to resolve your symptoms for MS.
That
And
would
one of
be
my
a
big symptoms right now is spasticity.
that would
And
be a
all
good
these
word to
crazy meds.
sing.
What?
Like the word spasticity. We could sing that word. Would it be so we
Spasticity.
write so here's what we start writing MS the musical. I'm
Oh
having
my god.
spasticity, a spasticity
Oh my
problem
god.
for me. We
Work
Yes, it'll be MS the musical.
yeah, work the UTI issues in there and we're
Yes.
golden. Oh god. Okay, never
Yes,
mind.
there we yes, be gold. Oh, I see what you did there, you weirdo.
I
Ew. Ew. Sick.
no, not on purpose. But I remember
Dude.
the days when I used to say the only symptom I didn't have was spasticity. And it took me a long time to figure out what
Spasticity.
spasticity was.
I think we
Because
should sing
you
that
have
word
something
every time we say
similar.
it. Every time we're
You
going to do
have
it, I think we should sing it.
you have something similar, but your
Yes, I
word
do.
isn't as fun to say. You have tremors.
Oh, Trump. Oh, well, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know where you're
but
going
I
with that.
get spasticity.
Right, and right, and which of course is here's another one exacerbated
Yes,
by the cold.
exactly.
I have exacerbated spasticity.
No,
So no,
no, or
it's
the UTI gives you the pseudo exacerbated activity.
right. So, but yeah, so with the tremors, but then the other thing for me, now you combine tremors and the shivers. Like if I get cold,
Oh, the
if
trivers.
if I get cold, yeah, the trivers. That yeah, the is it the or the shemmers? Um,
Yeah.
Either way, either way, whatever we're gonna call it, it's like so now my whole body is shaking because I'm cold, but my right side because the tremors are down my right side, but the it's like the right side is um my arm and my leg on the right side. It's like they're trying to take off, like they're trying
Yeah.
to take off from the airport. Because they're going nuts. Yeah. So um so yeah, it's it's weird. The thing that sucks. It's got to suck for you. Probably. Look. I understand that it sucks for you more than me in this case because, like, the heat here, you get the summertime and extreme heat, and the more really heat makes things difficult for the MS,
Yes,
and
it
then
exacerbates the fatigue.
and exacerbates it. And now you get in the wintertime. Now here it is. It's cold outside. You get cold, and you have exacerbated spasticity.
But this goes along to what I was telling you earlier. When
Yes.
my spasticity gets bad in the winter, I have so many people ask me about the podcast and what's called. And when I say Wheels and Shaky, they ask me which one am I?
Right.
Because my spasticity makes my legs shake so bad. So I am both.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you are wheels and shaky, and that leaves me just
Wheels and Shaky
along.
Squared.
I'm just out for the wheels and shaky. Yeah, well, not wheels and shaky square, but wheels plus shaky squared. I guess I don't know.
There you
You got to put yeah, we have to be more specific.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. So I get that. Spasticity is a tough one to say. Um, there was a few others that was.
There's a lot of them, and we're gonna get into them. I
Yeah, we're
promise.
gonna get them. Like I don't know. Again, you gave me that spot where I'm not supposed to peek, where I'm
You're
just
not
gonna.
supposed to speak because we
I'm
are
not
going
gonna.
to trip
I'm
Shaky
not.
up today.
Well, that and I'm probably Mr. Garvey most of those anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole premise behind this episode to begin with, besides the fact that you can't even do the carbidopa
Carbidopa levodopa. I'm getting better at
The
that, but I still like to
the
call it
one,
Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa is just funnier. But
yeah,
yeah,
but that's what
carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa, levodopa, boom,
that's
boom,
fun to say.
boom.
But
It
that's
is
what
kind of
I
fun to say.
realized, that my medications and my symptoms aren't nearly as fun to say. They're much more complicated.
Carbidopa, levodopa will be sung a lot when we get to Parkinson's the musical, which will
Ooh,
happen after we finish MS the musical.
that'd be a good bass beat.
Carbidopa,
Carbidopa.
carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa, levodopa. Yeah, you're right. Man,
Yeah.
that makes just doing that makes me want to. I'm standing here shaking my ass while I'm doing carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa, levodopa. Yeah, I could. Oh yes, yes, yes.
That's
Oh, I know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna get myself on the DJ mixing board. Carbidopa, levodopa,
we've got
carbidopa,
the
levodopa,
squad.
carbidopa, levodopa. Yes, yes, my squad and my own squad. Um, yes, yes,
Oh
yes,
my gosh.
yes.
So the
It's
whole point
it's
of
it's
the point
boots. It's the medical version of boots and cats
with the
and boots
kids.
and cats
Yeah.
and boots and cats. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You do carbidopa, levodopa like that, and a bunch of pharmacists all standing around shaking their ass.
I know that one of my neurologists along the way, one of my many neurologists along the way, was very driven by new research and the medical inputs. So I would go to my appointments with him. See, I can't speak, so this is an appropriate topic. Um,
Yes.
I'd go to my appointments with him, and he would just talk about all this research and be pronouncing these words, and my eyes would literally glaze over. And I would just look at him and I'd say, just do what you think is best.
Yep.
Because I would get lost in all of this medical terminology.
Yeah. I get it.
But the one thing that I will say, and what caused me to think of the reason for this episode, and I've got it listed in our notes, is that during my last day in rehab, I remember laying in bed at night, about to go to sleep, and the nurse comes in, the new nurse to the night duty. Um, and I don't know how we got started because she's walking around cleaning, doing all these things. And we got to talk about how we both had MS.
Oh.
And even before she introduced herself to me, she said, "So what are you on?" And I
Yep.
said, Kcemta. At that point, I was on Kcemta. And she goes, Ocrevus. And I will say
Oh.
to this day, I don't know her name,
Hmm.
but I know that she was on Ocrevus.
Is that the right
And
pronunciation though?
they say
It's
Ocrevus
Ocrevus. Yeah,
sometimes.
I hear Ocrevus on the commercial.
I've heard a lot of other pronunciations. Like I said, my eyes glazed over when my doctor talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking about me pronouncing something? Hello. This
Ocrevus.
episode, that's the whole point. I can't pronounce things.
No, I get it, but I'm just thinking. I was
But
just
I'm just
thinking.
saying that's the big thing is like, what medications are you on before you even know someone's name?
Yep. Yeah. No, that's the part we do. That's. I think that's a medical community thing in general. Like if
It is.
you have the same. What do you want? Do you have You have Parkinson's? Yeah. So do I. What do you want? But with
What do you
Parkinson's, it's always carbidopa levodopa carbidopa levodopa and pramipexole if you're going to go by the name. But dopamine. It's all dopamine hits.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones. There's a few others that you get when you get advanced. But to this day, my mother carbidopa levodopa, carbidopa levodopa, carbidopa levodopa. And me, it's always carbidopa levodopa, which is why
Mm.
that's why I like to sometimes call it just oompa loompa, because A, it's funnier to say, and B, it makes people kind of go, wait, what? But
Well,
in
we
your
also,
case,
yeah,
but with MS, I mean, I'm trying to think. It is kind of we because we like
yeah.
go back to the wine nights when we used to do Friday night wine nights and you were on
But this is
something
what I was about
else.
to say, is that we also date not only with what you're on now,
Hmm.
but what you were on when you started.
Right.
Because when I started 23 years ago, when I didn't know you that long ago, but I had the ABCR drugs. There's
Right.
only four: A for Avonex, B beta-seron, C Copaxone, and R Rebus.
Which was the one the one that you really reacted poorly to?
Avonex.
Avonex.
Oh no, Avonex was
Or
the
was it
wine night.
Copaxone? I thought it was a Copaxone.
No, I loved Copaxone. Oh, that was fantastic.
What, there was one that
But
you had
it was
the one that
daily
almost killed
shots
you, you
and
said.
your skin. Um, I think when I
What was it?
started Gilenia, which was the very first
Oh
pill.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's
But
right. That's
right, but
right.
that's something all MS patients all have these stories.
Right.
But you can date yourself by, I remember when the very first medication I think was the beta serons, and you actually had to mix the vials together and put it in the syringe and shoot it yourself.
Yeah.
When Avonex came out, they had that pin
The
injector. I don't know
pen.
if you remember
Yeah.
that. You
Yep.
didn't even see the needle.
Right.
So then Gilenya was the first pill. So some people can say, well, I remember Gilenya. Well, then Tecfidera came out, and that was the once every 6 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, you can see through the evolution of it. I think there's 20 of them now.
You know what the best
So
part
you
of
can
all
also
this is
date yourself.
in my head. The best part of all this right now, though, is in my head. The I'm hearing the Key and Peele
Oh
Western and
God.
Eastern All Stars things. Especially, here's introducing what the Okravus Washington from or something like that. Just tight end
Yeah.
Okravus, Osmataz Buckshank. The whole it's I don't know, medical names. I still like. I don't know. I always kind of wonder where they come up with these things. You
Oh, that's
know.
I've got this whole research button. That's
Okay.
the
All
whole
right.
part of the script where I said do not peek involves some of these names. It's gonna be so
Okay.
much fun. You're in so much trouble.
All right. Chef, do you think I'm in trouble? I
I
doubt
can't
it.
speak. I can't even say
I know,
non-medical
but
words half the
I
time.
know that, but I don't see. But my need my I have no built-in necessity to pronounce medical terms correctly because I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I have no, and honestly, saying medical terms wrong to me is funny.
Well,
It makes me sound like a big jackass idiot, which for the most part, I'm a big jackass idiot. Yeah.
you expect me to jump in and to fight you
No,
on that?
no, I don't. I expect you to go, yes, you are. That's I look of all the people on the planet that I would expect to go, yes, you are. There's two of them that would be right at the front of that line, and that's you and Mrs. Shaky.
I
I
beg
fully expect
pardon.
both of you to just go, yeah, he is a jackass idiot. You
Well,
know,
part of the question I was also going to ask the listeners was, for
yes.
example, when I was in rehab, one of my
Trying to
medications is
make me
called
go.
metoprolol,
Yep.
and I will say I had at least 3 nurses who often, like every time, mispronounced it.
What is it?
Metoprolol is
Yeah.
a heart medication.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
for
right.
the AFib. Yeah, another comorbidity. Don't get me started on that.
This would be
But
like
like
one of
I
those
know
things
this
where I need
one.
a pharmacist on here with us. I
Oh,
got a
just
guy for
wait.
that too.
I'd actually asked my daughter, and we can get into that. She's a nurse, and I'd ask her, I'm like, how do you learn to pronounce these? Because I had this one nurse who would consistently, there's the word consistently,
Ooh.
mispronounce metoprolol. And I'm lying in bed thinking, should I teach him how to pronounce it? Maybe, me, I'm always trying to educate people. Or should I just let it go? Because I know what he means.
Yeah.
Or, or is there a little bit of trust in me that he is actually giving me the proper medication?
I think
Because the
metoprolol.
mispronunciation was so bad.
Am I saying that right? Is it metoprolol?
Metoprolol, yeah.
That's a Norwegian death metal band, I think.
Matthew, when he's putting my meds together with me every week,
Metoprolol. Da,
we
da,
call it,
da, 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 da.
he calls it Metropolitan.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
just let it go because we know it's Metro.
Well,
I know what he's talking about.
right. But that's ultimately where I end up going with this. That's ultimately where I end up going with this, like with the carbidopa levodopa, and calling it oompa loompa. It's the same thing. You can give.
Yeah.
I think. Look, sometimes everybody, people get nicknames for weird reasons. Like when Matthew call it, like sometimes when they call Matthew Uncle Squad because
Right.
that whole thing, and people get weird nicknames for a lot of reasons. But giving nicknames, I think every medicine that has a name that is hard to pronounce or whatever it is, some big, long, crazy scientific name should have a nickname. Should have it's like why things have a brand name. I take the one. I take something. It's a dopamine hit. I said it. I take a dopamine hit that is, hey, it's dopamine. Well, technically, it's pramipexole. Okay, well, it's pramipexole. You know what? Hey, I need some more pram. I need some
Well,
more pram.
every medication does have 3 names. And I did a bit of research, and it takes them a few years to actually find, it takes pharmaceutical companies a few years to actually get a name approved.
Why? To get a name approved?
To get a name approved, yep.
That's fascinating to me. I wonder why.
It says the FDA, they have to look for trademark conflicts. They actually look for
Well,
phonetic
yeah.
similarity. They don't want any of them sounding similar, so people could get them confused.
Okay.
They also don't want them to use. I mean, it's basically to prevent medication errors.
Yes.
But it's also there are chemical names, so there are properties that they have to have in there. Um,
What happens when they start running out of words? Are they going to use animal noises or something next? Hey, I need to go pick up. I need to go pick up my, or something. Is that what this?
hey, it works. Well, and I did do a little bit of research, and it's pretty funny because they actually have myths about why certain medications have certain names. About
Myths.
myths, yes.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
don't know if they're
myth.
myths or not.
Yes.
Myths.
It's.
Myths.
I know.
Pronunciation.
It's the original. It's the Muppet movie. It's the old Muppet. That's a myth. Yes. That's an old. It's the original Muppet movie bit with
Nice.
Carol Kane. I think it was.
So
Take a
I mean,
gape on that one.
there's names like one of the things I don't know if the myth I may have to pronounce it myths
Yes.
or not is that Vicodin. They say it was named because it was 6 times more potent than codeine, and so the name VI is 6. Vicodin, codeine for codeine because it
Okay.
was 6 times. So that's a possibility.
I suppose.
I also looked up. They put forth an idea that Viagra was named because the VI is like for vigor or vitality, and the
Yes.
Agra is for like Niagara flow. Oh,
Shut
yeah,
up.
exactly.
Shut up.
No,
Shut up. I'm not buying. No, no, no. I'm not.
no.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I don't
Hey,
know. I guess maybe I would buy that because you know what? Because Viagra was clearly named by a guy. The whole thing's about dudes.
same
It's
guy
so
named the
dude.
sperm
There's some
whale.
guy. Some guy come and put all that together. That's probably You know what that
Exactly.
is? That's a guy who look what he wanted to call it before. Like what do you want to call this thing? Raging hard on. No, we can't do that one. We need something a little more scientific. Well, let's see
The,
if we use
the little blue
raging
pill.
Vi, I guess. Oh, you know what? How about Vi? Because it's six, 6,
Oh, that's
and then
Viagra.
and Agra, which is flowing water like
Uh,
Niagara, but not flowing water, flowing blood or flowing whatever it is else is, so to speak. I
mm,
just some, there's
yeah, I know.
raging, you know, due, what the original due north, you know,
Well, the one that
something
cracked
I don't
me
know.
up too was Xanax. If you think about how Xanax is spelled, first
Yeah,
off, pronouncing that beginning X, Xanax, okay?
well, it's like Xerox.
Right, but
Xerox
okay, Xanax is for what? Anxiety?
making copies.
Uh-huh.
There you go. God, I almost caught you there. No, yeah,
You're
I think
aging yourself
Xanax.
talking about Xanax.
I think Xanax is still. I think it's like I think it's an anxiety thing,
But if I
right?
saw Xanax, I'd be panicking about how to pronounce it. How do you pronounce the beginning X?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know how to say this. I need a thing, but I can't say the word. Yes, that would be the ultimate catch 22. That would be
Xanax.
the ultimate catch 22 for a person. I really need a. Damn it! I don't know how to say it. Oh my god! That would be yes.
Oh
That would be the worst and greatest catch X 22. That'd be the greatest X. That would be the
my god.
greatest catch 22 in the history of mankind. It's like
Hey.
it's like somebody there's an old pharmaceutical joke. There's an old pharmacy joke that um, somebody invented a pill to cure somebody's allergy to cotton,
Hmm.
but then they packed it in the pill box. They packed it. They put it in
Oh
the
my god, I
pill.
didn't think
They
about
put it in
that.
the pill thing with the right.
I've
Yeah.
never heard that. That's a
There's.
good one.
I
I like
don't know
that.
the exact setup and punchline, but the whole idea was like,
That makes
yeah,
sense, yeah.
I'm allergic to cotton, but I can't get to the pills.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
So
something like that.
so I asked Hannah, I said, okay, so you're a nurse. and you're faced with, a pharmacology class where
Mhm.
you've got to learn about all these medications. Do they have a class set up where they specifically sit you down and say, let's learn how to pronounce these? How do
No,
you
no.
learn?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they do.
As a nurse, she says they don't.
Maybe not as a nurse. I wonder
But
about a
I did
pharmacist.
discover there is a couple of YouTubers out there that will do that.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about these nurses that were mispronouncing metoprolol. I would want to know if I was mispronouncing it. But I wouldn't want to go sit my butt down and watch a YouTube for an hour and a half to learn how to pronounce it.
No, no,
So
no. If I'm
what do you
watching
do in
YouTube
that
for an hour and
case?
a half, it's gonna be something
It's
much
not,
more
yeah, it's not
productive.
that. So what do you do as a nurse? I mean, you've got to learn how to pronounce these words.
Apparently not.
Well, this one nurse, yeah, not
Well,
so
right. That's what
much.
I'm saying. Look. Plus, I don't know. It's sometimes I think some of these pronunciations are open to interpretation. Like you said, like you earlier, you said Ocrevus, but maybe,
Yeah,
but
or
then, but
Chris.
when I hear the commercial, it's Ocrevus. It's
Don't to
it's
don't take anything I pronounce
no,
wrong.
I understand, but it's like maybe one's like the European version, like hey, I got to go buy some aluminum, and like oh, you mean some aluminium,
Oh, I love aluminium. I love it.
aluminium in the
In the
garage,
garage.
in the garage. Yes,
I love
Jim,
aluminium.
I keep my aluminium in the garage. Well, and then it's like, so I got to go. I got to take my groceries through the garage to put them in the front room. You
Oh,
know, right? So it's
yeah,
it's. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Hey, I got to go get some metaprolo lol
yeah.
over by there.
Mel ticker.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
else we got? So what else we got? We got what other fun words do we have?
Well, those are. I mean, I was thinking about that because during the day, I
Yeah.
actually do sit and just watch TV a lot of my day. If I do get tired, I need to rest. And
Right.
I swear to God, the pharmaceutical companies, all they do during
Oh,
that's a
that's
fun word.
tons.
Pharmaceutical. How can I
Pharmaceutical. That's another good one.
pharmaceutical?
That's another
I
that
keep
that
mixing.
pharmaceutical will make an appearance in MS the musical and Parkinson's the musical. It's the pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical.
And we always talk about
It's
the multisyllabic word. God, there's too many
multisyllabic,
in this speech.
multisyllabic exacerbated
So
pharmaceuticals.
all day, every day, it is just commercial after commercial for
Jacking with my spasticity. No,
what was
I'm
my specificity?
I'm fascinated at the amount of all the time. There's two things with that I always sort of go wow when it comes to um, pharmaceutical commercials. One is just the pure volume of them. It seems
Mhm.
go through. I can't remember the last time I sat through a commercial break and did not see at least one pharmaceutical something, but and usually more than that. That's one. Two.
Mhm.
The other thing is, and this. I don't know if this is a whole episode in and of itself, but the side effects, the list of side effects, which
Mhm.
may cause, and it's. I mean, some of this, here's your list. Some side effects
Don't go there.
have been. Well, it's like spontaneous combustion, instant death, dismemberment by self,
Accidental
random,
distance.
accidental dismemberment, anal, like anal leakage, and
Oh yeah.
the Jardiance, I think it's Jardiance that talks about something going on with the perineum, and I'm going, wait, what?
Yeah.
The what? Because I mean, look, we
Because now
always
you gotta
keep
go check out, find out what that is. Yeah.
we keep this we kind of keep this show relatively clean for the most part, but
At least the part that we put out
yeah,
in
for the
public.
most part, but when we're talking about the perineum, look, that's we know what it is. It's a taint. That's what it
No,
is.
it's
That's the taint, and it's because it taint the thing in front and it taint the thing in back. And I'm trying to, I'm saying that as tactfully as I can. It's the little, it's the barrier point between the park and the sewer. Between the it's the very it's the separation point between the
okay,
playground and the
okay,
sewer.
okay.
No, I know, but but when I see that, when I see may cause irritation of the perineum, no, then I don't want any part of this.
Well, we have a little game. The Jardines commercials mess with it. we have a little game where during the commercials, like you do, you always turn the volume down,
Yeah, I try. Yeah.
but you have to guess what the ad is for
Oh, that's good. Well, I like
before
that.
you. Yeah, so we play that little game. Those
Okay, that
Jardine's
would be fun.
commercials, they've gotten really good lately. You can spot one of them because they have a style to them. But the pharmaceutical company advertisements, you really have no clue. What I mean, even if they tell you what the name of the medication, you still don't know what is the medication for.
Right.
But I will say with MS commercials, and I know my Spoonie friends out there can relate to this, the one thing that irritates a lot of the MS people, the commercials show these people walking around, and doing things, which is
Yeah.
great. That's what we aspire to.
Right.
But it does not show someone
There's not no accuracy.
who is progressed further along,
Yes, it's not an
who
accurate
is
depiction of what you're dealing with.
it's not showing a daily thing. Although there is one ad for a new medication.
Yeah, that's cool. Viagra, we talked about that. Xanax, Vicodin. Okay, so MS and Parkinson's disease medications. All right. So
Yeah,
what do we got?
I was trying to compare. I was going to compare the MS medication
Hmm.
names versus
Yeah.
the Parkinson's names. So the list you see on our script are the current MS disease modifying therapies.
Okay.
And
Well,
if
let's.
you
Oh,
look, you can see the chemical because there's three names you can have. You have the chemical name,
right.
you have the brand name, and you have a generic name.
All right. Let's
So
go.
that's
Let's.
why you
Wait.
always see the main name and then you have something in parentheses.
Yes.
That's why.
All right. Here we go. So the injectables. Uh, interferon beta. Well, is interferon a a medicine or is it like a class of medicines that
It's a
these other ones would
class
fall in?
because with
Okay.
MS, here's the fun thing about MS. There is no cure, correct?
Yeah,
So they throw in
same
medications,
with
and people
Parkinson's.
can correct me, but they throw in medications that are traditionally used for other things
Right.
to try and treat things, or they give medications in these categories. They don't know exactly what they do, or they do know something of what they do, but they're not going to completely quote unquote fix anything.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
why we have these different
Yeah.
words.
Okay. So we talked about Avanex. We talked about beta seron.
Mhm.
Uh, Extavia. That's a good. That'd be a good one for MS the musical.
Mhm.
Plegridy.
And Plegridy. So of those,
Plegridy.
I've been on Avanex, yes.
Plegridy.
So I
Plegridy.
tried, yeah, I tried,
I don't like Plegridy. I don't like that.
yeah.
Glatiramer acetate.
Mhm.
Glatiramer acetate, also a metal band.
Good
Maybe not
Fury
Norwegian,
acetate, yeah.
but also Glatiramer acetate.
So I've been on two of these. You know the two.
Copaxone.
Yeah, I've been on
Um,
Copaxone.
Glatopa. Glatopa is that's like if that's going to be the name of an alien that shows up and like the first one that actually makes take me to your leader. What's your name? Glatopa.
A
Okay.
dystopian
Welcome.
world, yeah.
Yes.
Utopia.
Welcome, Glatopa. And then
Uh,
this one I actually looked. So the one for K Sympta, olfatum ab, tumum ab, olfat olfatum umab. That is a Mr. Garvey. That is a Mr. Garvey name, like from Key and Peele. That Mr. Garvey, like
oh, it gets worse. It
you
gets
know,
much worse.
Jay
That's
Quillen.
why we. That's why we just say K-Sympta.
Yeah. Well, K Sympta is I'm not sure what K Sympta is. It's a something. But olfatum umab. Say what is that word? Actually, so
Oh, Fatima Mom. I
olfatum
think
umab.
that one I've never said. I've never had to pronounce because I just say K-Sympta.
Olfatum umab.
Now the
Oh,
next one.
Fatima Mob. Oh, Fatima Mob is something that's a made up word from Fat Albert.
That,
Yeah, okay. Fingo Lamad. Fingo
Fingolimod.
Lamad. Fingo Lamad? Yeah.
Fingolimod.
Fingalamad.
So Jelena, I've been on that one.
Yeah, we remember that. I remember.
But you remember me saying Jelena. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce the
Right.
other one.
Terraflutamide.
Obagio, which I've never been on.
Dimethyl fumarate. Uh,
Pretty good
That mental
Tecfidera.
fumarate is something you do. That's like a treatment you give to the bottom of your feet. Like, man, I got a bunch of dead skin. I gotta give my foot a good dimental fumarate. Um, the Tecfidera. Yeah, I remember Tech. I remember Tech. Was it? I remember you being on Tecfidera for a while, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was the second pill after Gillian.
Sipin, Siponamod.
Spawnamod.
Siponamod.
Yeah, Spawnamod.
Oh, okay. Siponamod is that's a type of amphibian. That's an amphibious creature.
Oh, keep going. I want you to. There's a
No,
couple that I've
oh,
been on it that I've.
Ozanam. Okay, so Siponamod is an amphibious creature. Ozanamod is a. It's similar to amphibian, but more reptilian. Um, Ponisamod. That's a horse. That's a horse version of it. That's a like a small horse version of it. And Cladribine. Cladribine is a piece of farm equipment. That's all. That's a
Maven so much easier to say.
Mavenclad. Well, yeah, those are the names, but these little things that clad. Hey, somebody get that Cladribine and finish up in that field over there. Okra. All right, here we go. So these are infused ones now. So infused meaning like they're
These are
it's
the
like
new ones, yeah.
yeah. These are the infusion ones where they actually needle in your arm and all that whole thing.
And you've seen me go through one of these. So.
I have Lemtrada, right?
Well, we're getting there. Wait till you see the
I skipped
typical
ahead, but
name
I
for
said
that.
okra. Okay, so the infused ones for Ocrevus, whatever we're calling it. Ocrelizumab. What is mob? So the word mab, that ending of mab. That there's got to be something significant about that
That's
as a
chemical.
word
It's part of
origin,
its chemical name.
is it? Okay.
You have penicillin,
God, I need my.
amoxicillin. You see this?
I got a, I
Mac-
got a, I got a couple of pharmacists that I know that would be great to help us out with this.
when I went through my antibiotic stage, when I had all the UTIs and I had to go through all that, they found one thing that worked for me, and they would say, "Are you on Cipro? Are you on Cephala?" I mean, so you don't even have to pronounce the second part of it because they know the chemical name.
Natala, natalizumab, natalizumab. Natalizumab is that's the Russian version of the name Natalia.
Natalia,
Hello, this is
like
Natalia
Black Widow.
Zumab. Yes, her real name is Natalia Zumab. Uh, Alemtuzumab.
I never knew how to pronounce this. They would
I'm
always
guessing
ask about that when I was doing the lymphatic infusions. I would see that
that's
name up on the
that's
bag.
this is again Mr. Garvey, the Key and Peele bit. Mr. Garvey, where is Alemtuzumab? Where are you? Where are you? Lemtrada. That's the Lemtrada one. I remember Lemtrada. That was the infusion deal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we
That
got
one took a whole week. Yeah.
Ubla Ublituximab. Ublituximab. That's almost like a Beatles song. Ublituximab. No. And
Good. That's
then mitoxantrone. I said mitoxantrone.
But look at
Mitoxantrone.
it. Look at its brand
Novantrone.
name.
Yeah, no,
It's
Novatrone.
so similar.
No,
Yeah.
Noventrone. So the mitoxantrone. That's a kicker in the NFL. That's some weird foreign-born kicker in the NFL. Some Argentinian player like an Argentinian soccer player learned how to kick a
Yeah.
football. All right, here we
Yeah.
go. Okay, so into the do not peek. All right, the
No, no.
the
Wait, we
FDA
will
has
get
a
there. We will get there because
well, no, but when
those
I'm
are.
peeking, it's like I'm looking at it.
I know, but those are just the MS medications.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to have. I did look. Parkinson's does have more than 2.
They do, but I just know what the prominent ones are. Do you have them? Do you have them listed in here?
I don't have them in the sheet. No, I had it and I deleted it
Oh,
because
I
I thought
see.
that because there were only 3. There was the carbidopa. I mean, there were the carbidopa levodopa.
Carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa, levodopa, carbidopa,
I can't even
levodopa.
pronounce that. And see, I know you've got another one that starts with P.
Pramipexole.
You've said it like 3 times, and my
Yep.
brain still can't. I mean, and that's the irony of all this is that as MS progresses, you lose the mental faculty and the speech processing. to be able to say or even identify half of this.
I got news for you. That's not just an MS thing. That is because I am I'm stepping into that a lot lately.
All
Like
right.
yes, like it's the pronunciation thing is still okay.
Yeah,
Like
you're doing
vocal,
great today.
like vocally, I'm still fine. And I think vocally, the reason I exercise my vocal use, I'll say, because look, it's pretty known factor that I talk way too much. But also, but I think also as part of it is singing and all the amount of singing that I do. Not just when I'm working on things like MS the musical, but actual, actual singing jobs. Um, it is MS the musical. Push my wheelchair down. Something that
Yeah.
rhymes with musical. Anyway,
This
so
just reminds me of all my theme songs. Some of my friends and I joke about the song "Keep Rolling, 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 Rolling."
yeah.
That's one of them.
Roll with the. What about REO Speedwagon? Roll with the changes. Roll
Yeah.
with the changes. Woo!
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of good rolling songs when you think about it. Proud Mary, rolling,
There's a lot of good
rolling,
shaking songs too. Hey,
rolling on the river. Yeah,
those
there's.
are
Oh yeah,
shaky.
shake it all over.
Ah,
That's what's great. So okay. So here's what we need. We need somebody else with another disease that could be rattles, and then we could be shake, rattles, and rolls. Shake, rattle, and roll. That'd be us.
gosh.
Shake, rattle, and roll. What would a rattling disease be?
That's horrible.
Something like where what's the one where your bone density you lose bone density?
I
Um,
rattle sometimes anyway. I mean, trust me.
no, you can't. No, you can't be rattles and rolls. You you
I'm
you
all. I can be all
you
three.
no,
I'm
you
wheels
can't.
and
No, you
shaky.
you have to be wheels. I have to be shaky. We need a rattles. We
Uh,
need a rattles in here. Something. Maybe somebody somebody that with something that makes their some of their teeth fall out and get loose, and they just talk and that they like clicking noise or something like you got a
okay.
rattle in your
Oh, you're
face.
grossing me out.
I don't know.
Grossing
I'm
me out.
just We need a rattles disease because then we can be shake, rattles, and rolls. That'd be
Ugh.
awesome. Just walking down the street singing shake, rattle, and roll. Okay,
So to go back
so
to the do not peek portion, I want to. I want to.
okay, I'm at the do not peak.
The do not peek is.
Um,
It goes back to. It kind of segues off. Okay, so we just talked about a lot of the chemical names or the
yes,
horrible ones you can't pronounce.
right,
But then think about all these funny names like Jardians. I mean, it's not the first. It doesn't sound like what it actually does. I mean, although what medication would sound like what it does. But think about who has to come up with these names like Xanax.
well,
What
right,
crazy person said XANAX? So the next portion to pronounce are crazy names like where someone just took those old magnet letters you put on the fridge,
and just
just took
threw
a
them at the,
handful of them, threw them at
just
the
threw it,
wall.
tossed them. Yeah,
There you go.
that would be great. Turns out secretly that's the actual method. That's the actual method
Exactly.
of naming. Oh, hey, what
Maybe
are we naming this week?
prescriptions.
We have a new drug to name this week. What does it do? What does it do? It prevents. I don't know. It prevents anal leakage. Okay.
Spontaneous explosion. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. But and what are the side effects? Well, instant death, spontaneous combustion, um, death
Yeah.
by rattle. Um, I don't know. So I I I I heard a story yesterday told by a drummer, this pretty well known drummer named Greg Bissonette. I went to the Delaware to the drum show yesterday, and he was talking. He goes the in the second Spinal Tap movie he gets killed off. He's another one of the drummers that gets killed off because they for the first time ever he had to use a rattle. He had to use like a rattle in the show,
Oh
and it turns
yeah.
out he was allergic to the seeds. He was allergic
Oh
to the seeds in
god.
the rattle, and it killed him.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So all
Oh.
right, so here we go.
So these,
Um,
the point I was making is do not peek the words here and that are in bold. I have no idea how to pronounce them,
Me
but
neither.
these are obviously brand names.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so
So
these are just those letters they just threw up on the wall because I have
Trin,
no
the first
idea.
one. Okay, first one is I'm going to spell these first. I think for Tryn Golza. That is Tringolza. Tringolza. You know what Tringolza is? Tringolza is another monster in the Godzilla movie, like they had Godzilla and the Godzilla and Gothra.
Yeah.
Tringolza is another one in that, but it just wasn't as popular. Couldn't cut it, and they cut him. He ended up
So
on the editing room floor.
I wish I had looked up to see what they did actually do
Ensacove.
treat.
Ensacove. Ensacove. I would change that to like Ensacave. That's something you buy. That's a type of tequila you get. Ensacave.
That's an
That's
Italian dessert.
Oh, see, you give me the Ensacave, please, Ensacave. Um, Crenesity. Is that
Crenessity.
Crennessti? Yeah, Crenesity.
I have to see what that one treats.
Crenesity is that's going to be a girl's name in 10 years. 10 years from now,
Oh, that is
somebody's going to
true.
use that as like their girls. It's going. These are my daughters, Jay Quellen, and D Nice, and Crenesity. Um, well, this one Unloxcyt unlocks it. That's just a different way of spelling somebody opening your door. What you doing? Unlocks it. All right, next one. Bizengri. Bisongri. Bisongri. Bisongri is going to be the dude. That's going to be a dude's name. That's going to be a little boy's name in 10 years. Like Crenessity is going to be a little girl. This is my son,
uh,
Bisongri. This is my son.
right.
Grazian B. Onomopoulos. There'll be like some.
That's
It's going to be like some little Greek kid.
great.
Bisongri Onomopoulos.
No, the next one I've got in here looks Greek because it starts with I.
Is that an I or an L? Okay, that's an I. Okay, so Iomervu. Omer
I
view.
don't remember you.
That's breaking up with somebody. I'm over you. That's all that is. That's just what
That's
happens
true.
a
You
little
said
bit
it all.
after you break up with somebody. I'm over you. What's up? What else you got? Okay, next one.
Oh, wait.
Rapiblyk. What?
I've got to see what that treats because look at what that looks like.
Which one?
Rappa.
RAP. Rapablick.
Rapably.
Rapablick.
I
That's
wonder if
another.
that's related to I.
Rapablick is a word that Snoop Dogg has made up, like for shizzle and all that stuff. That's a word. That's a word. Somebody looked at somebody. This is an obscure reference. Go watch the movie Pootie Tang that was written by Chris Rock and Lance Crothers. Go watch the movie Pootie Tang or Tippy Tay. Asada Tay, baby, I'm going to ride your pity on the runny kind. That this is Rapablick is something that's a word from the Pootie Tang script. Um, a Truby, that one I've heard of. A Truby, Attruby. A Truby, a Truby is a kids game. That's a kid. That's the name of a kids game. Listen, first we're going to play Uno, then we're going to play Operation, and then after that we're going to play a Truby. That's a kids game.
Okay,
And Zi,
Rappablick.
and Zahira, Ziiheri.
I
Zahira, Zahira is an ancient country name in the Middle East that has since been changed 2 or 3 times. It's probably like a little corner of modern day Egypt, and like the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is buried there or something. That's going to be an Indiana Jones movie somewhere.
Okay, now here's the fun to go and see what they actually do treat. Because
Oh, good.
I just looked up Rappablick.
Oh, what it's got? What is it?
It is quickly reduce heart rate in adults with supraventricular tachycardia, including atrial fibrillation and atrial flutter. It provides
Supraventricular
that was hard.
tachycardia. Supraventricular tachycardia opened
SVT.
up. They opened up for they opened up for not for Metal Church back in the 80s.
Oh my god.
Yes, they opened up for Metal Church. I remember there was a
Uh,
chain. There was a show that came through Chicago. They're playing at the Riviera Theater in Chicago. Metal Church with special guest whatever you said, tachycardia, supraventricular
Yeah.
Tachycardia. Okay, but you didn't write those down. So okay, so next section,
So
drug
chronicity is complicated. I don't even know what
chronicity.
chronicity treats something I've never heard of before.
You know what chronicity is? If it's not a girl's name in 10 years, it's gonna be the, it's gonna be like the next single. It's gonna be the next thing that Sting releases. It's gonna be the name of the next album that he releases. It's gonna be chronicity. Much like synchronicity, but this will be chronicity.
Chronicity helps. Oh my gosh, I have to pronounce this.
Mm,
CAH. Can I just call CAH?
no, because I don't know what that is.
Congenital adrenal hyperplasia.
Congenital adrenal
Hyper.
hyperplastia.
It's a rare, lifelong
We
genetic
need a
condition
professional on the
involving the
phone with us.
adrenal glands.
Okay.
That's what chronicity is for.
Chronicity.
So I
Okay.
love these names though. It's like
Yeah,
I don't understand.
some of them are great. Some of them, but some of them, these are all names that I don't know. Like I said, every one of these is all something that you would see in it, like the Key and Peele East West football game bit. To me, that's where I see all that. Okay, so what we should know: drug nomenclature. There's that word. Drug nomenclature is the systematic naming of drugs, especially pharmaceutical drugs. There are so many big words this week. In most
Exactly.
circumstances, see, like this, most circumstance. Now you're throwing words like circumstances in there just to make me exercise. Drugs have three types of names: the chemical
Mm-hmm.
names, the generic or non-proprietary. Look at it. Really, you can't just call it generic. You got a crowbar non-propriety in there too. You're
Get
killing
as
me.
many syllables in as I can.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna start charging you by the syllable. Uh, Generic or non-proprietary names and brand names. Okay, so I'm just gonna read your piece here because just for
No,
clarity
this is the
purposes.
boring part though.
Well, yeah, but like so, companies get new prescription drug names approved through a rigorous, years-long process. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you're working on some drug that some miracle drug and it takes you like 6 months to develop, and then it takes you 8 years to come up with the name?
But
How
while
many
they're
people?
working on it, which name do they use? Because
Well, right.
if they use the chemical name, because that's what they are, that's what they do, I guess they could pronounce it. But
I think they
if
should
they
name it. I think they should name it after the guy that was responsible mostly for coming up with it. Like, hey, what's the matter with you, man? What's going on with you, man? I got a really bad case of IBS, but it's clearing up pretty quickly because I just started taking Bob. Give it the name it
oh
after the
god,
guy name it after
Bob.
the inventor. Oh man, oh boy, I have had such a problem with explosive diarrhea for months, and I just took a really really good dose of Pete of Peter, and now it's well no maybe not Peter maybe not the
Oh my
best option.
gosh.
I just
No,
took a
no,
really,
no.
and it's probably somebody from another country because they're all smarter
Yeah,
than us anyway. I just took a really big dose
yeah,
of Petra, and
yeah.
I don't know why or Kacha. I just took a big dose of Kacha, and man, oh, do I feel so much better? Can you imagine that they should just name it after themselves? Like, look, if somebody makes um, what's the Sky People? Um, The Sky, yes, the Sky People. That my brain is working. The Sky People, the
It could
astronomers.
totally help me,
The
but I don't know.
astronomers. Look, if an astronomer finds some new thing in the sky, they get to name it after the Sky People. Yes, boy, you're gonna look at you laughing like this. You're gonna pee yourself. Um,
What do they be doing? Sky people.
the Sky People. Yeah, the astronomers, the scientific Sky People, not the dopes, not the you
I
know
like Sky people to astronomer was not what I thought you were gonna say.
the Sky
Oh,
People astronomer. Why? What did you think I was gonna say? The
I've
other weird
never
sky
heard of,
people, like
I
the other
didn't
sky
know, but
people,
I've never heard astronomers called
the
sky
the
people.
the, the Hale Bopp comet people. No, the the
So the
scientific sky
constellations?
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, well, right. So if they discover something, they get to name it. And a lot of times, it's
that's
like
true.
they name it after themselves. The Hale Bopp, that whole Hale Bopp comet was named after Hale and Bob or whatever. It was like, oh, those two guys. Haley's comet was named after Haley. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
true, true.
whoever named
Uh,
Oh, I forget. Like, what's the like? They give a lot of numbers to stuff. That's boring. Give it real names. That's what they should do until they come up with all until they meet all their other protocols. Like, the chemical name, generic, non-proprietary name, or brand name. The generic or like the non-proprietary name, like when it's at that stage, should be like if I invented something, it would be
Yep.
like if I invented something, it could either be like my really legal name or just go, hey, what's the matter with you, man? I got this splitting sinus headache. It's just it's man. Oh, here, take some J. A nice. There's a good
So,
dose of J here to help
so
you
you're
feel better.
assuming chronicity could be a person. You don't know.
We already established that.
I
We
know,
already
but I'm saying
established that chronicity could be somebody's
it could be
name.
Bob's girlfriend.
Maybe it's
I
that.
mean,
Maybe it's well in
chronicity
all
on.
of these. In theory, all of those things. Ensicave. That could be some. That could
Yeah.
be some Italian researcher, working in Venice.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Ensicave.
That sounds
You
like a
know,
good song too. In Sagave.
Ensicave. Oh, hey, compadre. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so what do we got? Companies need prescription. We talked about that. Key protocols and guidelines. Look at this. Boy, you really went to town on this. You're bringing the heat on this outline this week or this episode.
I had
Generic
to. I had to. I couldn't pronounce half of it, so I just had to pull it from somewhere.
generic names. The stems, specific civil.
Sybil.
Sleep for
God,
a
I hate
second.
her.
Sorry, I know. I'm sorry. It was a long day. Specific syllables, the stems, are added to convey chemical structure or therapeutic action, e.g., cillin for penicillin. Or in case you forgot the H there, that should be chillin, and I get me some
Okay.
penicillin.
This just reminds me of I was an English teacher in a previous life,
Right,
and all the work we put into like naming our characters when we write, because they have to have a certain feel or a certain tone to them.
right,
So the character's name is really really important. Some of these names, maybe I just don't get it, but they don't seem to relate to
right.
what they do. And
None of this makes sense.
yeah,
None of this makes simplicity. General single words under 4 syllables and easy to pronounce globally.
pronounced
No, but that's
globally.
not happening though.
But globally, because in America, we do like Jay and Amy, hello.
They come
But
to
our
America.
names, you're gonna add some syllables if you go across the pond.
Sure.
So I mean, so you gotta realize we're not the only country in the world
Yeah,
that has
like
invented
like if we
sarcasm.
went to
So
another country, it'd be like
yeah,
Kumanababa J,
right.
and
So their product name,
right.
and it has to make sense worldwide.
I get it. No, look. I understand why the names are super complex. I understand all of that. I just I would like to see it a little bit less. I'd like to see it a little bit less complicated. Number one. Number two. No matter how complicated it is, I just want them to dial back the commercials.
Mm,
I just want to dial back the commercials a little bit. I want to see more. Bring back the old like Sears commercials, or come to Sears and get yourself you can buy a couch, a pair of jeans, a lawnmower, and some candy from our candy counter. Everything you need is right here at Sears and Roebuck, right in your
mm,
neighborhood. Check all your shopping malls in your neighborhood. We have like 15 Sears around us. What else we
yeah.
got? So brand names, FDA, EMA. So safety first. It must not sound or look like other drug names. So, you know,
I will say in therapy, that's one of the things they did is one of the occupational therapy and almost the one of my speech activities I had to do was to identify pills by their shape and to
mhm,
look at the name of them because if I'm setting up my own pill containers,
right.
I need to know what I'm doing. And even if I make a list, which I do recommend, make a list of all your medications, you still have to be able to identify the name and know what it does.
Yeah.
So it can get complicated.
What's the new sinus medication that's just coming out? Crackhead sinus. Okay, no, we can't.
What?
That sounds like something else. We can't use crackhead sinus. That sounds like something else. I want to be. I desperately want to be in the in the meetings where this is happening, though, where they're naming these things.
You'd cause
Because
trouble.
Oh, I would definitely cause trouble because I'd be like, wait, what? So what are we going to call? What are we going to call this one? We're going to call it. I'm going back to the list. We're going to call it Tringolza. Tringolza. Isn't Tringolza one of the Tringolza? That's from the monster movies. Tringolza's the guy from the Tringolza's
Hmm.
the guy that he was the guy that Godzilla beat him up. Tringolza. No, that's lame. How about what does it do? What does it do? It I don't know what does Tringolza actually do? Did we look that up?
That's why I was
Tring
trying to look them up, but my computer is
hmm.
misbehaving.
Tringolza. I should probably look at it for you real quick. Let's see.
You'd be faster.
Tringolza is a FDA approved first in class prescription medicine used alongside a low fat diet to reduce high triglyceride levels in adults with familial. Oh, come on. Ready for this one? Familial Chilo, CHY, chylomicronemia syndrome.
Which is
It's I don't. It
keep
sounds like
reading.
it's it's something for people with high triglyceride levels.
Uh,
Is apparently what it does, but it helps people with high triglycerides. I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting done with this really quick, because the
no,
because the whole thing with me making fun of these big words
yeah,
is going to run out. I think it probably ran out of steam about 10 minutes ago, but I'm still trying to push it.
I'm not saying a
Um,
word. We need to
hey,
be. I mean, we're almost done anyway. But I mean,
yeah,
the big thing I was thinking about is something to think about is we make fun of these commercials as well.
yeah.
Uh, but what else are they going to put on screen?
What
And
is it
at
going
the
to
end of that's
advertise?
nuts because I complain about these. Yeah, I complain about the MS commercials, but do I really want to see someone who is suffering from,
I
something
agree.
on my screen?
I agree with that, but here's a wacky thought. Here's a wacky thought that don't happen. How about dropping one or two commercials per episode of whatever it is you're watching and actually
Uh,
giving us more content, more actual entertaining content? Every like sitcoms now, like a good sitcom is like 22 minutes. It's like 22 minutes of material and a whole crap ton of a
okay,
whole crap ton of commercials. Here's a thought: knock down two commercials and give us 24, 25 minutes of good content instead.
now you're
Right,
going off the rails there.
right through. Yeah, yes. And I'm completely off the reservation because they're not going to do that. I
But
know.
the Jodian's commercials are entertaining. I mean,
Yeah, as long as they don't have that one that first woman in them, that off-putting And I'm saying that she was just off. I don't know a nicer way to say it. She just there was something about her which just I just got the ick from her right out of the gate, and
yeah,
And yeah, I don't know what it was. It's just something about I don't know. It's bad casting, bad something. When she was gone, I don't mind the Jardine Force. I take
yeah.
one daily, carbidopa,
But
levodopa. Bum, bum,
it's
bum,
doing
bum.
its job. We remember it.
Yes, I don't know
Unfortunately,
what
we
it
don't
does.
suffer from anything that requires this continuous
I
rotation.
don't know what it does. If it's diabetes, if it is something that has to do with diabetes, then when Diabetes the musical comes out, they will just take that commercial, snatch it in the form it's in, and put it right in there. And you know what that's called? Plagiarism and lazy writing. So, all right, but yeah, but see, so okay, so FDA uses tools like a phonetic and orthographic computer analysis. See, even that, yeah,
I mean, it's a very specific process. I mean, I like making fun of it. I really do. But I mean, they really do work hard to get these names for. It doesn't seem like they do, but I guess they really have to jump through some hoops.
I'm sure they actually do. I mean, look, I get that. I understand that somewhere along the way there's there's reasonable scientific evidence and support for, hey, let's call it this. No, we can't call it that because it sounds too much like this one,
Yeah,
and like so like this one is one that is for people that have hyperthyroidism and they need to bring their thyroid output up. And then and here's one that sounds exactly like it or just like it, and that's for hyperthyroid, or whatever, and that does the exact opposite thing. They can't be even close in name. I do understand it. I do understand it. But while I will stand here and say I understand it, don't ask me not to make fun of some of these names because really,
You're asking for trouble then.
yes, yes, you are. It's like when you and I. I compare this to when you and I start looking again. I'm bringing up the football name thing again because that's where we see it the most. When we see football names and we're like, "That's a good name. That's a good football name."
Yeah.
Deuce McAllister. Deuce McAllister, running back for the Saints. That's a good football name. Deuce
Hmm.
McAllister was a great football name. Deuce McAllister is not something I'm going to take, for like IBS or like a kidney problem. I've got
Yeah.
really bad kidney issues. Oh, you just need some Deuce McAllister. Fix you right up. It's, you
Maybe we
know,
could work him into the musical though.
oh, sure we could. Hey, MS the musical. Who's that pushing your chair? Miss
Yeah.
Wheels, it's Deuce McAllister. And we could. That's easy.
So
Yeah.
that's what
Could
we
you
need to
imagine? Maybe we
promise
could
for
get
the
the
future is that.
actual. Maybe we could get the actual Deuce McAllister.
Ooh.
That'd be awesome. Because I
Ooh.
don't know what he's doing
Hey,
right
it'd be
now.
great to have a running back push me around. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be that.
So,
And then you need
so
like
but
an offensive line in front of you.
exactly.
Yes. How about it?
Although people do typically part the way when a wheelchair comes through.
Yep.
That's another episode is how people treat
Mhm.
people in wheelchairs. That's coming soon.
Okay.
Um, but you need to get to work on our future musical.
Should we? Okay. So are we going to do MS the musical and then Parkinson's the musical? Or are we going to do Wheels and Shaky the
Absolutely.
musical? Wheels and Shaky the musical?
I don't know. We'll
Oh,
work
because
on
I
it.
got that. Yeah, I could totally do that.
Okay.
Um,
But anyone
I think we're
listening can
up.
always pitch in
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah. Anybody, if you got stuff and things and items, you guys hit us up. Wheels at wheelsandshaky.com or shaky at wheelsandshaky.com. How's the website?
It's working. We're getting
Cool.
views. We're getting views from all over the world.
Right on.
Really cool.
Right on. So, if you have product suggestions, thoughts, um, we're working on a couple potential guests at some point. We got to try to organize that. I would have loved to. I got a pharmacist that would have been awesome to do this with it. But we'll do that. We'll revisit some of this, I think. But if you have suggestions, and we're also looking for products. We're looking for products. If you think you have somebody that might be willing to sponsor us, throw a little dough at the show because we could use a little dough at the show. Hit us up again. Wheels and Shaky. Wheels and Shaky. Shaky at wheelsandShaky.com. Outside of that, I think we're out. I think we're good. I think we have
Hmm.
sufficiently beaten this to death. I'm
And
going
I'm
to
sure I'm sure
remove.
we'll complain some more, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go remove the dead horse from my office that I've been kicking for the last 15 minutes.
I'm
And
gonna take
you
my tongue
all,
out. Yeah, I'm done pronouncing things.
yes,
I'm done for the day.
yes, take your tongue out. Go to the deli and get some tongue. Um, all right. I think we're out. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Spread the word. Go help somebody. Be kind to people. And
Stay out of the snow.
stay out of the snow if you are on the East Coast. And try to be better than you were yesterday. That's my advice for the world. And go be good humans. Thanks, everybody. Get out of here. Say
Later.
goodbye, Wheels. Say goodbye, Wheels.
Goodbye, Will.
Thank you. Later.